Okay, we have made it to the final number, the line 6, the role model. It's funny, I just looking at these names, I realized the 1 and the 6 are the only ones that sound fairly neutral and fairly just descriptive of what's happening, rather than could potentially be offensive or send someone into a self-judgment tailspin. So it's kinda nice to have this role model aspect. So the 6th line, the role model, is very, very fascinating. So the main keynote to keep in mind with the 6th line is transition, because the 6th line it is the end, it's the top of the hexagram. We've gotten to the roof of the house. We are at the end essentially, but the 6 is about looking forward to the next line 1, looking forward to the next thing, like integrating all the past information in order to create new moving forward. And the 6th line is the only one that lives in 3 very distinct phases. So the first phase is from birth to Saturn return, which happens around age 27. We rounded up to 30, and just because I don't know why. Let's say 27 to 30. So I do know why. I just didn't want to go off a one line tangent. That's all. So if you want to know more, let me know. So around 27 and a half is when Saturn returns, and that's when things start shifting like crazy. Every single person goes through a Saturn return. Just the severity of it and the depth of it depends on so much in your life, how aligned you've been before, and uh, other things in your energetics, but the 6th line has a very specific transition. So these first 27 and a half years, you're living more as a 3 line. This is a time that life is bumping into you. You're figuring out what doesn't work. You are living a little more messy. Okay. It looks messy from the outside, but again, it's really about figuring out what doesn't work. So if you are pre-Saturn return and you're listening to this, just I would just suggest living life, like enjoy life, let things happen, learn the lessons, just dig in, okay? Know that after Saturn return, things will shift because after that, you go onto the roof. That's the phrasing that is used in human design. And it's really just this energetic shift where you kind of retreat, you go a little more within to integrate all the 3 line lessons that you just spent your lifetime learning. You kind of heal from the bumping into life and the life bumping into you, and you just take some time to process this. And this second phase happens from Saturn return to Chiron return, so from about 27 to 50. And this is a time that you start to figure out what does work for you, what is for you, like where things are meant to go for you. And it's a really beautiful time. I have watched a couple 6 lines make this transition, and it always fascinates me so much. And I get a little jealous as a lifelong 3 line that I don't get to integrate this in the same way. But it's a really beautiful thing. So again, if you are pre-Saturn return, just know that things are going to shift, and it's really fascinating. So don't stress. Just enjoy the 3 line life as much as you can. And if you're in this second stage, then this is the time to really listen within and to understand the lessons that came from before, and to align to what it is that you do want. Again, following strategy and authority is huge, and aligning to your energy, aligning to your definition, learning from the openness, and processing it all. Because then after 50, that's the role model aspect, and that's when you essentially come down off the roof and are this like sage wise person. And so again, this is about transition, right? It's like you coming down to teach the younger generation all the things that you have learned so that there can be forward momentum, because it's about moving forward. It's about creating awareness of being human. It's about transcendence. And so when we think about this theme, in other things. We can look at the environment, which is shores, and shores is again about transcendence. It's about transition. It's about looking at two things at once. So if you think of literally a shore, like you're on a beach, you're on a beach, you're on sand, but you look out in front of you and there's water. There's endless water as far as you can see, and there's sky as far as you can see. But then you turn around and there's a city behind you. You can probably see hotels or restaurants or, all kinds of people. So there's two things happening. And this is the essence of the sixth line, where you can look back and say, okay, there's the city, that's where we've come from, and look ahead and say there's an endless horizon. I wonder what's out there. Like, where can we take the lessons of this city and move out to the horizon? That's the essential of it. So, wherever you see a sixth line, it comes with this theme. So anybody who has a sixth line, you just are really in this beautiful journey. And I'm so grateful to be able to watch the six lines in my life and to observe their wisdom coming out. It's the coolest thing. So thank you for this series, for joining me on this series, and keep an ear out for more things coming up. And I love y'all.